welcome to the Fox Football Podcast. Alex Conrad here, and it's been yet another massive week in football. We've had Arsenal slip up at the Premier League summit yet again. We had Spurs capitulate for what seems like yet again as well. But there is no doubt that the biggest story of the weekend was in the fifth tier of English football, and it happened in a town in Wales called Wrexham, where the mighty Welsh team finally lifted the trophy. They ended their 15-year exile from the English Football League and got promoted to secure that Hollywood finish. And I'm now joined by an Australian who's been with Wrexham at the start of the season, and that is Kai Calderbank-Park. He joins us once again. Kai, great to have you back on the football podcast.
Oh, thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here.
So firstly, congratulations is in order. And how's the hangover?
Yeah, no, a lot of people don't actually know this, to be fair, but I actually don't drink.
Really?
Which is actually, I've never drank and never have. But to be fair, we have been partying and, obviously celebrating as a team and whatnot, blah, blah, etc. Like that. But no, there definitely was a few hungover lads the past couple of days and whatnot. But like I said, we're back in training today. So obviously we've still got one more game left of the season. So it's just one of them ones you've got to just keep cracking on to the end of the season now. So yeah.
Dare I ask who the MVP of the celebrations was?
Oh, you know what? Ben Foster's up there. Ben Foster, 100%. He surprised me. He loved all the beers and all the alcohol, but everyone, like I said, every single one of them were just so happy and buzzing, and everyone was just alcohol everywhere, spraying, party, jumping around and all that. But no, definitely, like I said, every single one of them was just so happy and gassed, like so we should be. So, but yeah, no, I'd say Ben Foster was quite a shock. I was quite a shock, to be fair, but no, it was a funny one to see.
Was his famous GoPro on record for all those celebrations, or did he put that away for a little bit and just be one of the boys?
Yeah, no, I think at first it wasn't for a bit, but then I think once sort of we settled down and had our showers and that, it sort of went away after that. But no, it was like I said, he uploaded his new video as well on YouTube the other day, which was quite good to watch and see. So and yeah, he did have it out for a bit, but I think it went away after that for a bit.
I've got plenty of questions to ask you about Ben Foster, but we'll save those ones for later. Of course, the massive story is about getting promoted after a 3-1 against Boreham Wood. Talk to us about the sort of emotional roller coaster leading up into that game, where you guys knew what the stakes were that you had to win to get promotion, with Notts County hot on your tails. I imagine that the town was, buzzing and so excited, but also was there like a hint of nervousness amongst the folk?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think that's one of them ones. Like, I think everyone can agree that 2 clubs to have over 100 points in one season is just absolutely outrageous. It's never really unheard of, to be fair. And then obviously on top of that, only one space gets automatic promotion. So it's like I said, it was sort of one of them ones. It was first to probably slip up, really. The first one to sort of lose 1 or 2 games, and then that was probably it. So, don't get me wrong, yeah, everyone was 100% like head screwed on, focused every day, having a laugh as well, being serious about what we have to do and get this job done. And like I said, lucky enough, and we've done very well and worked hard, and we've done that job. That's the main thing now. Like, the number one thing was to get promoted and win the league, and that's what we've done now. So yeah, don't get me wrong, it was at times like, when we lost to Halifax a couple of weeks back, that's 3 points there gone. And then, you look at other results, not to think drew. So then you're like, oh, you're back up to there. And then it's just sort of a bit up and down. And then you then go 3 points ahead. And then it then becomes 4. But it's one of them ones. It's like it can go from one week to happy, then other weeks a bit, oh, well, we don't know what's happening now. So, yeah, 100%, you've got to keep focused, keep grinding, and just got to take one game at a time, really, and just move on with it. And now with now a League Two team. So yeah, so it's quite happy now, happy and relieved. So yeah, definitely 100%.
Imagine there would have been a little bit of fear creeping around the famous Racecourse Stadium when Boreham Wood scored inside the first minute. What was going through your head at that time? Because I imagine there was a little bit of shock.
It was weird because literally as they scored, I think it was the first 40 seconds, like the whole stadium was like a ping. You couldn't hear anything, and I was just like, what just happened? Like, I couldn't even hear their fans really even. I was like, have they just scored? I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. And it was a bit like, yeah, it was more of a shock, if anything. It wasn't really like, we weren't nervous because, like, we know as a team and as a club, being at home, especially, like, we've been unreal as a team at home. So, like, we knew we were going to bounce back. But, yeah, when that first goal was went in, we were a bit like, oh, all right, we're currently 1-0 down. That's a bit weird, but anyway, we'll move on. And then we dug back. I think 10 minutes later, we got the equaliser. And then, then we sort of just turned it up a bit. And then next goal. And then that was it, really. But like you said, obviously, as a club and as a team, being at home, our record at the minute is unbelievable. I don't know off the top of my head what it is, but I know it's like, I think over a year, we've undefeated at home or something like that. It's ridiculous. So we knew as soon as we went down 1-0, we were going to bounce back and just basically come back and win the game. We knew we weren't going to give up. So, yeah.
I guess the fact that, when Elliot Lee equalised in I think it was the 15th minute, I mean, just to even score against Bournemouth Wood is quite an impressive feat, because going into the game they had, I think from memory, like the league's best defensive record of only 35 goals against, better than yourselves and Notts County. So I think, perhaps maybe people underestimated the challenge of, needing to score the goals, especially to come from behind against, such a defensively sound team. But what was the sort of, was there a sense of relief when Elliot scored, or was it more of like, okay, now we need to just keep going and keep pushing?
Yeah, it's one of them ones. I think you probably know, and as everyone knows, as soon as you go 1-0 down, it's like, all right, yeah, we're 1-0 down here. Obviously, I think if it was 1-0 down in the 80th minute and 70th minute, you would be a bit like, okay, yeah, we might be panicking here. But it was literally the first 30 seconds. So, like, you've still got 90 minutes to play here. So it's literally like, we were all confident and knew that we were 100% going to get one. And as soon as we got that first one, I think everyone in that stadium knew there was going to be 2 or 3 or 4 more goals easy coming, easy, 100%. So, like you said, as soon as you get that one goal, that whole crowd becomes just set with 12th man. You then become as a big team, and then you get the third, you get the second, and then you get the third, and then happy Larry, you've won the game. So, yeah, no, like you said, as soon as you got that first goal, I think everyone knew, yeah, there's more goals coming here, 100%.
So obviously it goes into halftime at 1-1. What was, I guess, obviously you weren't in the team for the match day itself, but what was Phil Parkinson's message? Do you know what he was saying to the boys at all at halftime?
I don't really know too much, but I know for a fact what he normally does is just, you got to just keep your heads, you're just going to keep it going and just take it minute by minute, basically. And like I say, he's a great manager, and obviously we've got a great bunch of players there in that. So it's like, they all know what to do, they've all got experience. And like I say, it's just one of them ones. As soon as you get in at half time, all right, it's 1-1 now, but we've still got another 45 minutes. They scored in the first 30, we scored in 10 minutes. Like I said, there's going to be goals. It's going to happen. There's going to be goals. It's as simple as that. And lucky enough, we did well. We fought well, and we got the 2 goals. So yeah, 100% definitely was going to be more of a just case of just keeping your heads in the game. Really, just sort of stay focused, stay relaxed, chilled, calm down. The goals will come. Just keep doing the basics, and that's it. Really, just what you got to do.
And who else to score those 2 goals for Wrexham other than Super Paul Mullen? That guy just cannot stop scoring. It's ridiculous. Like, what's he like in training? Is he just like an absolute goal hound?
Yeah, like I said, to be fair, me and Mullen have a good relationship in terms of, like, when we do shooting drills, and I always do like he does like a penalty, a couple of penalties before the training session finishes and that, and I'm the one in goals through and stuff like that. And to watch him like score and just watching how he does it is, his touch, his movement, his turning, his just knowledge of the game is unbelievable. And like I said, when he does bang him in, the power he gets on him is just outrageous, and just the technique and the precision of where he puts it it's a joke. It's one of the best I've definitely seen for sure. And like I said, I don't even know what he's on at the minute, how many goals he's on, but I know he's up there for ridiculous numbers. That's how much he's on. I can't even remember how many he's on, but no, definitely, like you said, it's good to definitely train with him. It's good to learn off and train against him and getting shots against you to see what it's like, because obviously he's up there for one of the best at the minute for that. So yeah, when you're in training with him, it's just like, wow, you see how he's actually, the reason why he's banging him in every day. You just see, you can just see in training. Fair enough. That's why he's doing it, because he knows what to do. He's got such a good ball knowledge of the game and how to turn and get off your players, and just to find the back of the net. He's literally just born to be a striker, and it's just what you need. And obviously, he's done that for us. So he's an absolute beast, to be fair to him.
And so when he scores his second goal in, I believe it was the 71st minute, and Wrexham's third goal of the game.
Yeah.
Talk to me about, were you sort of feeling like, yeah, like this is it, like we're not losing from here, like promotion, and the championship is ours?
Yeah, you do that in the back of your mind a bit, but at the same time, there's still 15 minutes to play. So it's sort of one of them ones, like, as soon as you get that third goal, technically it's only 2-0. Realistically, it's only 2-0 up. So it's like they get one back, there's still 10, 15 minutes to play. So in your head, you're thinking, crap, they could easily get another one here. So it's don't wrong. Yeah, some people probably thought, all right, yeah, it's looking a bit more comfortable, but it's still not over yet. It's still not over. You've still got 15 minutes yet. So if anything, you want to try and get that fourth. If you're going to get the fourth, same again. You want to get that the fifth, but you then have a bit more of an understanding of, okay, it's looking a bit more like, then it gets to the 80th minute, then it gets to the 85th minute, still 3-1, gets to the 90th minute, it's still 3-1. Obviously, the crowd then starts getting a little bit happy, everyone's singing, and then the final whistle goes, and then bang, obviously, we win the league and get promoted. So, but no, you got to keep going. You got to keep going to the final whistle. Like I said, that's the one thing I've always been taught, is you never give up and you never stop until that final whistle goes.
Obviously, once that final whistle did go, it looked like absolute pandemonium on the coverage. Everyone just streaking onto the field. Whereabouts were you sitting, and how quickly did you get onto the field?
I was literally on the sideline, and like next to the coaches and the staff and all the bench players, and like, literally as it blew, we just sprinted on the pitch, and we just got absolutely mauled. And people were hugging you, like coming down, like kissing you, everything, taking photos of you, and some people on their shoulders, and there was flares going off, and absolutely everything. It was madness. And then we eventually, about 20 minutes after, got through into the dugout, went in the change room, did our celebrations. I think that change room definitely needs renovating now because of all the alcohol everywhere and that. And whatnot. But then, yes, we did that, and then we came back out and lifted the trophy, and everyone was off the pitch then and whatnot. And then, it was just celebrating time, really.
Do you remember who the first person you hugged was?
To be honest with you, I think it was a random fan. I have absolutely no idea. No idea who it was or what the name was and that. And then after that was about another 50 million fans after that. People just wanting selfies and just literally mauling you to death. And then, obviously then we got selfies with everyone else, and obviously Rob and Ryan and all the players and all the families and that as well. So, it was good. It was good, to be fair.
So what was it like in the dressing room? I imagine there was plenty of music, plenty of, as you said, alcohol just getting sprayed around. What was Phil Parkinson like as well, and the rest of the boys? Like, I'm so intrigued to see what he was like.
Yeah, it was literally like, so as soon as we got in that change room, there was just music blasting. Literally every single person had alcohol in them, just spraying it everywhere. I absolutely stunk of alcohol. Honestly, I was really drenched just of alcohol. It was outrageous. And then Gaffer came in, change room. He got absolutely drenched of alcohol. Everyone was spraying him when he came in. We're singing, "We are the champions, we are the champions." And then did that for about 20 minutes, half an hour, just celebrating in there. And then we got told that BT and that said you need to get out there to lift the trophy. And that's then they got everyone off the pitch back into their stands and stuff. And then we came back out, lift the trophy, and celebrated on the pitch for about an hour or so like that. And then that was it. Just celebrating, really.
Obviously, there's going to be plenty of intrigue about the two Hollywood stars, Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds, in terms of their celebrations. Obviously, we saw them quite emotional at the full-time whistle, hugging each other and sort of in tears as well. But did they get around the dressing room celebrations as well, or was that only for the players?
No, they're literally like one of the players. It's actually quite mad. Like, a lot of people don't realize, and a lot of clubs don't do it, but they're literally like one of the boys. It's weird. It doesn't seem real, but like, you walk in and they're just there. We'll shake their hands. How you been? Blah blah. Yeah, it's going good. And especially when we won the league, they were literally with us celebrating, lifting the trophy. They were there with us, dancing, celebrating, partying. They're literally like one of the boys. It's crazy, and walking around the pitch with them, hugging them, giving selfies with them, and stuff like that. It's quite mad, to be fair. Like, it's like you say, you're just sort of chilling and relaxing and being best mates with these Hollywood superstars, which is just absolutely outrageous. But literally, they're just like one of us. They're just so down to earth, lovely people, and it's good to work with them, 100%.
Do they give like any little speeches in the dressing room afterwards, or are they sort of just soaking it all up like the rest of you guys?
Yeah, no, they have before in previous games as well. They come in after the session sometimes if they're here saying, "Well in today, done unbelievable," and obviously, I think obviously the other night was more an emotion one, really. I think us winning the league and seeing how they were, being obviously not upset, but like, obviously like emotion about the whole thing. It obviously shows how passionate they are and whatnot. So, after the game, yeah, when we were hugging them and, I gave them a hug and they were saying like, everyone here was involved, every single one of you, literally from staff to all the goalkeepers, all the backup, everyone was involved, and to be like alongside this and being here is great to see and great to watch. And like I said, they're just so grateful that they picked Wrexham, because this is the reason why. Just everything, the whole town, the whole community, all the team, all the players. It's just such a big buzz here at the minute. It's just going onwards and upwards, and it's just absolutely outrageous to see. So it is very, very good to chill and see what and how passionate they are about the club, which is unbelievable.
And there's a very sort of wholesome post on your Instagram as well of yourself with Rob and Ryan and your family on the pitch after the celebrations. How did you introduce those guys to your family, or were you just sort of milling around with your family and then they walked up?
Yeah, so we had when everyone left, then it was just us players and the families. All the families came on the pitch and we were just sort of just talking and celebrating. And the trophy was like in the middle with Rob and Ryan there. And there was actually a bit of a queue, like all the players and the family were like in a queue getting like a photo and having a quick chat to him. And told my mum and dad and my girlfriend to say, yeah, come over, come meet him and stuff like that. So we waited in the queue, and my mum and my girlfriend were a bit starstruck. They were a bit like, oh my God, we're about to meet Rob and Ryan, like, oh my days. And went up to them, shook their hand and said, lads, unbelievable, this and that. I introduced them to my mum and dad and my girlfriend, which is good to see from them, and my mum and dad and my girlfriend to see them as well, which was quite good. And they were lovely. They said like, are they from Australia as well? I said, no, I'm the only Aussie in my family. My mum and dad are from here originally. And they were, oh, no way. So it's good to like talk to them as a family as well. And it's quite good that they know about your family and stuff as well. And then we got a photo, obviously it's like paparazzi in front of us with all the people and that. And then we got a selfie with them, and then just saying it doesn't get much better than this, really. So like I said, now it's just one of them ones. Finish the season now and look on to next season and just onwards and upwards, really. That's all it is.
Yeah, like, I guess even, I think you mentioned last time that Ryan Reynolds actually follows you on Instagram. Has he liked your little photo yet?
Oh yeah. I think he's liked a good like 3 or 4 or 5 of my pictures now. So yeah, it is quite, like you said, if you go on my Instagram, you can see that he's liked all my pictures and that, and whatnot. So yeah, like you said, it is mad, like, that Ryan Reynolds is liking my posts on Instagram. Like it's crazy. Like, I remember just sitting there and I got a follow on Instagram from Ryan Reynolds, and I was like, nah, this is a fake account, surely. Went on, there's like a blue tick and there's like 48 million followers. I was like, no way. Oh my God, he's following me. And then uploaded the photo and he liked it. And I went, oh my God, he's liked it now. I'm like, this is outrageous. So yeah, he's liked a few of my pictures now, which is quite cool.
Absolutely. I guess on a lesser sort of Hollywood scale, but still someone who's a social media star in his own right and a very good goalkeeper is obviously Ben Foster, aka the cycling GK. The sort of one of the heroes, or the sort of the heroes of the promotion push, even though he signed on for 8 games and came out of retirement. Yeah. So let's like wind it back a little bit and to when you found out that he was going to join the club. What was sort of the reaction from the goalkeepers union? Because I guess, there's quite a big goalkeeping department at Wrexham. And you get Foster, a Premier League goalkeeper to join for literally peanuts in terms of money.
Yeah, it was. I didn't actually hear or know anything about it until I literally walked in. I think it was like a Thursday morning, and I went to the change room to get changed in that, and the lads were like, "Oh, Ben Foster's here replacing you." He's like, as a bit of a joke type of thing. I was like, "What?" I was like, "Ben Foster," and I was like, in my head, I was like, "I don't know what they're on about." And then I literally walked down to get some breakfast, was getting my toast and that ready, blah blah. I looked to the left, and he just sat there in the gear. I went, "Ben Foster." I was like, "Wait, what? Ben Foster's here right now?" I went, "Nah, you're kidding me." He got up, he went, "Yeah, mate." I just introduced myself. I was just looking, I was like, "There's no way you're here right now." I'm like, "What am I seeing?" I'm like, "Am I dreaming?" I'm like, "What is going on?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I'm signing now." I was like, "Holy moly, this is unreal!" Like, I was just gassed, man. I was just like, "Holy!" I was like, "I'm literally just speechless." I was like, "Oh, I just wasn't expecting that on a Thursday morning, walking and seeing Ben Foster being teammates with him." Now I was like, anyway, but you know, like I said, we have a big goalkeeping community here, and all of them are lovely lads. Got on really well with them, and I think to be fair, all of them, you know, being in and around and seeing Ben Foster's good experience for all of us. And it's not every day you get to train with a Premier League goalkeeper and the experience he's had and stuff. So it's good to learn off and see what he does and take tips and etc. and stuff like that. And obviously does his YouTube side of it as well, which is good to watch and see the inside of like Wrexham and stuff like that as well. Even though we have a documentary as well, I know that, but that'll be out in a couple of months. But yeah, so it's good to see what he does and learn off him and whatnot. So yeah, it is very good, very good.
Behind closed doors, how did he sort of raise the standards of, I guess, maybe not even just the goalkeepers, but I guess the rest of the squad? Obviously, a few players dropped down from leagues above to the Wrexham, but here's, a guy who was an England international and could have been a Premier League goalkeeper given Newcastle were after him earlier this season, and he turned them down. What does that sort of presence add to the team and the squad?
Yeah, I think like you said, it's a bit like because we all know who he is and what he's done. There itself already has respect for him. Like he's played for Manchester United. He's playing the semi final of a Champions League final with Man United. With obviously I think Ronaldo and all that lot. And he's obviously been at Watford and Premier League for years. I think he's had about a 20-year career, and I think just that itself shows the respect and what he has done. So instantly, everyone's like, straight away, just wow, yeah, we've got an unbelievable player here who's going to boost us up even more now. Like you said, because he's come in and he's such a down to earth person, lovely guy. He's always smiling, happy, lovely man. I think that makes everyone a lot more happier and lively as well, which is what you want. And like I said, on top of that, what he's got the experience, it's good to learn off and listen to. And like I say, each day you learn and you take tips on and you see what he does. And it then just goes around the whole dressing room, then, makes one person happy, makes everyone happy. So I think that's the main thing, really, just sort of getting that buzz and that feel of like, lads, come on, we're here for 7 games. We win these, we're promoted. Simple as that. And he's come in and helped us and done the job for us. So yeah, 100%. It's good to learn off and see what he does really. And end of the day, he's been there and done it. So obviously you gotta see what he does to obviously get to where he wants to be. So yeah, no, it's very good to learn off. 100%, definitely.
I guess he proved his worth with he only needed one moment to prove his worth, but what a moment that was when it was 3-2 against Notts County in what was a clash of the Titans really, the non-league sort of edition of Arsenal versus Man City, if you will. 96th minute, Notts County gets a penalty at the Racecourse, and you have Ben Foster in goal. You wouldn't really want anyone else in goal for that moment. What was, obviously you would have been in attendance, what was going through your mind? Do you think he was going to save it, or is it because it's a penalty and it's sort of like that 50-50 chance? Were you thinking, oh, like he might get it, he might not? But I feel like with Ben Foster in goal, like surely everyone's just like, all right, I think we've definitely got a chance here, like we'll be okay.
Yeah, no, I because I'm a goalkeeper myself, I always back the goalkeepers, even no matter what the situation is. I always back him. So like, so as soon as that penalty happened, I just knew instantly, like, yeah, he's saving this. He's saving this 100%, 100%. Like I say, you got to back your goalkeepers. You got to always believe him. Obviously, especially being Ben Foster himself, he's saved some unbelievable penalties in his career. So I knew instantly as soon as that went, I was like, yeah, obviously it's a bit devastating. You get a handball like the 97th minute in the pen, but in the back of my mind, I was like, no, I was like, I was actually, I was like this. I was like, no, he's saving this. He's 100% saving this. 100%. Obviously he did, and that's probably, honestly, probably won us the league and probably got us promoted. That save in the 97th minute, I think a lot of people probably agreed if whoever won that game or whatever probably could have gone to win the league. So yeah, to be able to see a 97th minute save of Ben Foster to basically win us the league was unreal to see.
Do you think part of it came down to that Notts County player sort of stopping or redoing his run up?
Yeah. I think, I'll say this a lot, is when a player puts the ball down and they back off and they're looking in the distance or looking at the referee and they're not focusing on the ball, then they look at the ball and then they have a shot, or they have to go back and then redo the ball, then take the run up again. Each second and each time they're not looking at the ball or they're not doing anything, it's then more pressure on them, because realistically, a goalkeeper, there's no pressure on the goalkeeper in a pen. There's not one pressure. You just got to save it or you don't. It's as simple as that. But with a player, you got to hit the target and put it in the back of the net. And obviously, he's trying to put it, I think it was the left side, and Ben's done an unbelievable save with his right hand. And I think it hit his left hand as well and then went out. So, yeah, I definitely think the longer it went on, he definitely got more nervous and realised, oh, yeah. I don't think he was the original penalty taker. I'm pretty sure the one who takes him was off the field on the bench, got substituted. So I think even there's more pressure on him then, in front of 10,000 crowd, biggest game of the season. And yeah, Ben got him the right way and did his job. So yeah.
Now, obviously, with the key objective already achieved, I think people might forget that there's still one game left in the season against Torquay United. Is there much sort of emphasis on the result, or is it going to be hard to get the boys up again for it, coming down from such a high of the celebrations at the racecourse? Or do you think, it's just, it's another game and, you want to keep extending that points record?
Yeah, I think, I'm wrong, everyone's celebrating in a minute and everyone's partying, and obviously the job's done now for us. So it is in the back of the mind of a lot of players. There's one game left. It's away at Torquay, which is probably going to be, which is like the bottom of England. So it's a really far journey. It's probably going to be a lot of players not that bothered, but you got to do what you got to do. You got to finish off the season. There's one game left. You got to finish it off right, hopefully. And like I said, it is another thing in the back of your mind. If we win it, we probably then set a really hard record for the league for the most points ever. So there is in the back of mind that we can do that. Yeah, 100%. But and our job is done now. Basically, we've done our job. Get promoted, win the league. That is our number one goal. I think everyone can agree on that as well. So, yeah, but no, so you got to do. It's still got to be professional and finish the league off and try to win it. Obviously, 100%. So, yeah, there is in the back of the mind. You got to just get over and done with. There's only a week left, so yeah, we'll definitely try and get over and done with as quick as we can.
When you signed it back in September for Wrexham, and obviously everyone at the club would have known that promotion was the goal and the objective. But now that you've achieved it, how does it sort of rank in your career moments? And was the feeling exactly what you expected, or was it a little bit different?
No, if anything, probably more than what I expected, really. Like, I think it was 15. It's my dog there, bloody barking. Being a muppet. But yeah, it's like, because the club's been, I think it's 15 years in that league, and they've come in, Rob and Ryan, to get us out of that league. So for us to do it now, and it has officially happened, it's just such like a relief. Just like, wow, we've actually done it. And the celebrations and to see what it was like, it was just like, you will never see anything like it. I think on the day there would have been, I think there was like 10,150 people there. Obviously, there's a lot more people outside the stadium as well who couldn't get in, unfortunately. But just the whole atmosphere, just everyone was just so happy and just so relieved, and just like basically like weighted lift off your shoulders, saying like, yeah, we've done it, we've completed it, we've done it now. And like I said, I think it's now just onwards and upwards. Just we're in League Two now. I think we all want to definitely say we can try and get promoted to League One, and then we can want to get promoted to Championship, and then Premier League. However long it takes, we do want to get there eventually. So yeah, to definitely see the celebrations, like it was just so good to see everyone smiling and happy and just so relieved. And it was quite surreal to see. It was quite good, to be fair, very good.
So Kai, as I understand, when you sort of signed, it was initially on a sort of short-term deal in September, and then you got extended in January. So what's going to be your contract situation going forward? Obviously, I imagine you'd love to stay with Wrexham, but such a sort of like the volatile nature of, transfers and contracts in the lower leagues where it can be quite sort of cutthroat in a way. Are you able to give us any insight or update on, your future at the club?
To be honest with you, at the minute, I don't really know what's happening just yet. It's like I said, because we're still not finished the season yet. Obviously, I know we won the league and blah blah, but we still got one more game left. So yeah, I think my contract ends in end of June. So at the minute, I don't know what's happening just yet. Like I said, I definitely would like to stay. 100% big club, going places. It's an unbelievable club to be at the minute. So yeah, it's gonna take it day by day and just see what happens. But I can't say no and I can't say yes at the minute. I just literally don't know myself. So we've just got to see what happens, and fingers crossed, it does happen. So yeah, we're just going to see what happens. I literally don't know anything at this moment in time. I can't really say anything just yet, to be fair. So I have no idea.
Is it, I guess, some people might be wondering, is Ben Foster going to be sticking around for a little while longer? Or is there sort of 8 games and he's just, job done? What do you think maybe this promotion push has sort of, relit that fire inside him?
Well, yeah, because on his latest YouTube video, the one with the promotion one, I think Ryan quickly said to him, like, "Oh, get that contract sorted for next season," or something like that. And then Ben said, "Oh, we'll do it for one more season," or something like that. And he went, "There, done. That's the deal. Let's get this sorted." So I think that there could be a possibility that he does definitely, I think, stay on. He's starting his career off at Wrexham and he loves the club and it's definitely going places. And I think that potentially could be, he could potentially stay, but like I said, it's up to him. He's obviously 40 now and whatnot. He's come in, he's done his job. So whether he wants to stay, I don't know yet. But like you said, we'll probably have to just wait the next couple of weeks and months to see what happens with that.
Obviously, as we said earlier, it's quite a volatile and cutthroat in those lower leagues in terms of contracts and whatnot. But the thing is that, no one can take away from this sort of squad is, you guys were the ones who got the job done. For yourself, how will you look back on this chapter in your career?
Yeah, I think hands down, probably one of, if not the best career moments I've had. I'm only 22, so I've not had that many career moments. But being called up to the Australian national team is one of my biggest proud moments. And signing for Burnley in the Premier League and stuff like that was quite a big achievement for me. So obviously now getting promoted, and because it's such a big club and it's going places, and because of what they were in, 15 years in that league, to get them promoted now and see how big and popular they are now, it's definitely 100% on there as one of the best things I've done in my career. Experiencing and seeing it live in the flesh is something you'll never get. I'm just a lad from Wollongong. I'm a guy from the Gom, just living the dream. Wanting to be a footballer, and at the minute I'm doing it. And I'm still young, so Ben Foster's 40, I'm 22. He's literally got 18 years on me, and he's still playing. It's outrageous. It's absolutely outrageous. I've still got 18 years before he even hit his age. So yeah, it's definitely great and lovely to see how the club's getting on, and definitely in my career books, it's definitely up there for probably one of the best things I've definitely achieved.
Well, Kai, thank you so much for joining the podcast today, and for giving us such fantastic insight into the celebrations and so a little bit about the inside dynamic of the team. Rob and Ryan, it's been fantastic to hear, and I think a lot of the listeners are going to be keenly looking forward to seeing you on season 2 of Welcome to Wrexham. Again, thank you so much for joining and for sharing so much about the club.
Yeah, no, much appreciate it. I love enjoying doing these interviews and that, but no, it's a pleasure to be on here. Thank you very much.
And I believe you started your own Twitch channel as well, if you want to share that for the listeners as well.
Yeah, if anyone's listening, I'm doing a Twitch at the minute. It's called Aussie G Kai. It's obviously the Aussie in me, the G Kai for the GK goalkeeper, and obviously Kai for my name. So it's just Aussie and then G Kai. So yeah, I do some Twitch over there at the minute, do some FIFA, some COD and stuff like that. Just sort of want to get good community with, share with the followers and that, and have some fun with them. So yeah.
Awesome. Kai, again, thank you so much for joining us. And thank you very much to all the listeners. I hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you next time.
See you in a bit.